In the Torah we read, Hein am levadod yishkon, we are a nation that dwells alone. There are certain times when B'nai Yisrael, when we have to be separate, that we can't be affected by the ills of modern day society. We have to be an insular community, particularly in the area of the greatest challenge of today, the challenge of addictions, of compulsions, of obsessions. In particular, the challenge of alcohol and being addicted to alcohol. A number of weeks ago, I was asked a question by a young woman. She told me, my father asked me to go and to buy him liquor. He is an alcoholic. I want to know if because of kibbud av ha'em, to honor my father and my mother, I must buy the alcohol. I'm afraid. When my father drinks, he becomes angry. He could harm himself. He could go out and drive, chas v'sholom. What is my obligation? I explained to her, there is absolutely no obligation. In fact, lifnei iver lo sitein michshol. Do not present a stumbling block. Don't get the alcohol. And in today's world, how careful we have to be, because sometimes a person could think, well, it's a mitzvah. I went to a kiddush. It's a sheva brachos. It's a bar mitzvah. It's a wedding. Yes, one drink, yain yisamach levav enosh, may make a person happy, may gladden our spirits, but not more than that. Not drinking, not binge drinking. That has nothing to do with holiness or with the mitzvah. But an individual that falls prey to it, that starts to like the bottle, that gets used to doing one too many Friday night, that person is in grave danger of affecting himself, herself, or the entire family. The big thing is that an individual has to know, am I having a reality check right now? Am I into this, or could I get out of it? Am I ready to admit that perhaps I've got a problem? B'derech she'adam rotza lelech, molichin bo. In whatever way a person wants to go, Hashem will help that individual to go in that way. There was once a father, and unfortunately the father was an alcoholic, the classic shikr, if you will. And he kept drinking, and would bring all kinds of embarrassment and shame to his family. Well, one night, the adult children were told that he was lying in the gutter. Everybody was laughing. The sons immediately went, and they picked up their father. The father was unconscious. He was in a drunken stupor. And they began to carry the father. One of the sons said, you know what? I got a great idea. Let's teach our father a lesson. Let's take him to the cemetery, to the Beis HaChaim. Let's put him in the middle of the cemetery. And when he wakes up in the morning, oh, is he going to be shocked? That'll teach him a lesson for life. And so it was. In the middle of the night, they carried him to the cemetery, and they left him in the middle, among the gravestones and the monuments. Well, that night, there was a thief that broke into the liquor store in the middle of town. As he was carrying out one of the most expensive cases of very rare bottles of whiskey, all of a sudden, somebody caught him. Somebody noticed him, and they called the police. The thief knew that he had to run fast, and he ran with the case. Finally, he said, I got to deposit it somewhere. I have to hide it. This is hot merchandise. I can't be caught with it. So he had a great idea. He ran to the cemetery. He runs. He puts the case of whiskey down in the middle of the cemetery. It happened to be that he didn't realize it. It was right at the head of the father who was drunk, lying there. Dawn, first rays of light, and the father begins to wake up. He looks around, he sees the case of whiskey, and he says to himself, Gan Eden, I made it. B'derech she'adam, wherever a person wants to go, that is the way that the person's going to be led. If they want to stay in their addiction, they could stay a lifetime. If they want to wake up, they want to do full disclosure. They want to say, I got a problem. They want to recognize it. They want to apologize. They want to take steps to mend their ways. They can get out of any addiction. B'derech she'adam rotza lelech, in whichever way a person wants to go, they will be helped to go in that way.